Hello again, ladies and gents. Hopefully you had an awesome weekend. I know the weather was certainly spectacular. So we're going to look at the homework from page 353, special triangles. I know this is definitely more involved because it's not just Pythagorean theorem. You're using it as a tool in a small piece of everything you're doing. I went through every question in the homework just to make sure that you were good with all of it because they all had their own nuances. So first one was 2A. They asked us to sketch the triangle and then find the side that was missing. So with 2A, they were missing the height, okay? And they gave us an equilateral triangle, all 20 centimeters around. So this is just going to be Pythagorean theorem, and we're looking at this little triangle here for the right angle triangle that we're dealing with. So A squared would be this side right here. So this would be A. And that's why it's only 10, because it's half of the 20. And then this is our unknown H, and then 20 is side C. Okay, so from here, 10 times 10 is 100, 20 times 20 is 400, subtract 100 from each side, and then square root both sides, and we get the height of 17.3. For B, they gave us this triangle, so an isosceles triangle with 11 on the sides, and they gave us the height 7 centimeters, and they asked for the length of the base along the bottom, which they labeled as X. So we're still going to be looking at just one of these triangles, like this, and we're going to find B as our unknown. Remembering the final answer, they want the length of X. So to get X, it's just going to take B, and we're going to multiply it by 2, because this is going to be the exact same length over here, because they told us this is an isosceles triangle. So there's A, B, and C. So A squared is 7 squared, B squared is our unknown, C 11 squared. 7 times 7 is 49, 11 times 11 is 121. Subtract 49 from both sides, so we get B squared on its own. B squared 72, square root that. B is 8.49. Now, if this was a test question, you'd be very tempted to go, okay, solved it. And this would be one of the multiple choice answers, but remember what you were asked. They didn't want just this little piece here. They wanted the whole length. So X is going to be 2 times B. So 2 times 8.49, and X is 16.97. Okay, on to 2C. So they gave us a perfect square with side lengths of 13 centimeters, and they asked for that. So this is actually the most straightforward one we've had so far. So they just want us to find side C. So 13 and 13, so that's A and B. So 13 squared is 169, add them up, we get 338, take the square root of both sides, 18.4. So this side here would be 18.4 centimeters long. On to 3A. We got a regular triangle with side lengths of 5 centimeters. And they said they want us to find the area of the triangle. Well, to do that, area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. The base we know. The base is 5. And we can see that with the little marks that they put on it. Okay, the height we don't know. So that's what we're going to use Pythagorean theorem for, just like we saw in the lesson. So A squared is going to be this little piece here. So it's going to be half of the 5 centimeters. So that's where I got 2.5 from. Okay, H squareds are unknown, and this is side C, the long one, and diagonally opposite of the right angle. So 5 centimeters. 2.5 squared is 6.25. 5 times 5 is 25. We're going to subtract 6.25 from both sides. That gives us H squared on its own. And then to get H, we need to square root 18.75. So that's our height. Now, I left it as square root 18.75 rather than bring it down to a decimal, because this is more exact. If I square root it, I'm going to have to round a little bit unless I have a really long decimal number. So I'm just going to leave it like that. You can square root it and just leave the decimal a little bit longer. That's totally fine. I just chose to leave it like this. So when I see an H, I'm going to drop in square root 1875. You're doing this all with calculators anyways, so it's totally fine. So now our area formula. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Our base is 5 centimeters. Our height, we just found out, is square root 18.75 centimeters divided by 2. So 5 times square root 1875 is 21.65. Divide that by 2, and we get 10.8. For 3b, they gave us this. They gave us an isosceles triangle with two side lengths of 7 centimeters, and they told us the base of the triangle is 4, and they said find the area. So I drew in this line for height. So this is going to be side A, again, is going to be just this part of the triangle, so just half of the base. So that's only going to be 2 centimeters. H is our unknown, and then this will be side C, 7. So you can see A, I've put in 2 centimeters because it's half of the base. H is our unknown, 7 centimeters for C. 2 times 2 is 4, 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract 4 from both sides to get just H. H squared is 45, so H is going to be square root 45. Again, I'm choosing to leave it under the square root symbol because it's not a perfect square. So I want more of an exact answer because it's going to be used in a formula. Like if I did square root this and I rounded it to 1 decimal place, I've just made it inaccurate. Now I've made it 4 times as inaccurate when I multiply by 4 here. Okay, so base times height divided by 2. The base of this triangle is 4. The height we just found out is square root 45, right there. Divided by 2. 4 times square root 45 is 26.83 divided by 2, and we get an area of 13.4 centimeters squared. Okay, 3C, they gave us this triangle. So again, an isosceles triangle with side lengths of 8 on the top. They did not give us the base length. They did give us the height. Okay, so I drew in the little b for base, and it's just going to be this piece here. Okay, again, just half of it. When I want the base of the actual triangle, I'm going to have to multiply by 2 to get the entire length. And I made it purple. Okay, just so you can see what's going on. So my formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. They gave us a squared, that's 5. B squared is our unknown, c squared is 8. 5 times 5 is 25, 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract 25 from both sides, so we get just b squared on its own. B squared is square root 39. B is going to be 6.24. Now, I want the entire length, so 2 times b is 6.24 times 2, 12.49. So that's the base. That goes right here. Okay, so 12.49 times the height, which they gave us of 5. That's why they're both in red. Run that all through your calculator, and you get 31.2 centimeters squared. Okay. So hopefully you're good with all that. I know I assigned question 4 to you, and I wanted that as the assessment focus. Question 4 is very, very similar to what we did in the lesson itself. So if you're struggling with question 4, go watch the lesson for this again in the YouTube video. It's going to be the exact same process, just different numbers. Okay, and again, please make sure you hand that in to me. It is worth marks. This is the last formal lesson in the test. I've got some practice stuff for you to try, especially with this particular lesson that we've been doing on special triangles, give you a little bit more exposure to it. And then we're going to do the review. And then we'll be looking at a test either Thursday or Friday. Okay, so that's it for now. Bye-bye.